Hey guys, Nick here. So today we will be taking a look at the 2025 Honda Pioneer 704. So we're going to cover a few different segments in this video. We're first going to break down and talk about the 2024 and 2025 model years, what that includes, what the differences in models between the 4-seater and the 2-seater variances, and even the deluxe models. Then we're going to take a tour around this machine. I'll show you all the different compartments, how everything operates, what the features are that you get with this model, talk about some specs, and then finally we'll take a first spin and I'll talk a little bit about my opinions on the 700. So let's get started. Now for the 2025 model year, it's not uncommon for Honda to change and move colors around, but however, the way they have it set up and what is shown online at the moment is a bit surprising. Currently, you can only get a 704 base in red for 2025, and the deluxe option is only in a deep forest green, which is a bit surprising as last year you could get it in red or green in the base, and I believe possibly even a tan. And the deluxe, you had a high vis green and a red with black accents. But now let's get into the 700 powertrain and what that includes, and then we'll talk about the 4-seater. Now the 700 platform is nothing new. It is a 675cc fuel-injected, liquid-cooled, single-cylinder engine, which actually came out of the Rincon, one of their older ATV models, but was refurbished and updated and put onto this side-by-side platform. Now the 700 has been around since the 2014 model year, so we've just reached over a decade now with this setup. Now that 675cc single-cylinder engine is paired up to a 3-speed automatic transmission. You get a 2-wheel, 4-wheel drive, and as well even a diff lock. 2-wheel drive leaves the diff always locked. 4-wheel drive makes front end limited slip, and then diff lock completely locks that front end up, giving you all 4 wheels turning the same amount. Now this 700 powertrain does not burn much fuel, but conveniently Honda equipped it with an over 8-gallon fuel tank, which allows you to stay out and riding for a longer period of time. On top of that, this machine is rated for a 1,000-pound bed capacity right there in the bed and an over 1,500-pound towing capacity by the hitch. So let's go over pricing for the Pioneer 700. Now for the 4-seater variant in the base model like you see here today, this has an MSRP of about $14,000, which does not include the destination charge from Honda, which is just shy of $1,200, which brings the sticker in to a little bit over $15,000 to get into this model. From that, there's a $1,600 price increase from the 4-seater base to the 4-seater deluxe, which has all the options of the base here, but includes additional aluminum wheels, paddle shifters, so you can manually shift, leave it in first gear, lock it in first gear, or just tow it when the shift. It gives you a little bit more playability to the machine, or depending upon the work you're going to do, going down a steep hill, you can kind of engine brake it more. So there's some added bonuses of those paddle shifters. On top of that, the big one is the power steering. You as well get LED bed lights in the bed of this, which is a nice little touch. From that, it's about $1,000 more, which brings you into the Force Edition, which gives you the camo wrap around the machine, and it gives you a front brush guard and I believe a Warn winch installed from the factory. Now let's go over some interesting kind of facts on the 704 here that most people don't usually realize right away. This will fit in the back of a full-size pickup truck bed, so if you have a Silverado or F-150, this will fit in the back of that bed as long as it's a full-size bed and not one of the short beds. And when you have this next to a 2-seater, the 2-seater might look smaller, but they are in fact the same chassis and the machine is completely identical, except the roll cage is extended back, so you have this rear section right here and the dump bed, meaning these machines between the 2-seater and the 4-seater are going to go to the same place and do the exact same thing, but with the 4-seater you have the convenience of being able to haul more people whenever. So a couple things to note: this bed of course still fully tilts with an assist, which is very nice, and then when you want to put it down, just grab it and lock it in. Now when it comes to your rear seats, inside you have a door handle, and then from there you can walk up and you grab the seat, slide it up, and it clicks, it locks right in. And if you notice, some foam kind of is sticking out here, so you can just undo this let it fall into place. Now what's nice is this still has a traditional seatbelt setup where you click it in straight down and then you loop it over. So you get full coverage in the back seats, keeping you or anyone in the back completely secured. Another little nice safety option is that when one of those seats is open, and even with the door shut, if I go to pull a handle to dump it, it will not dump. It has a safety lock in there, so it'll prevent you from dumping the bed accidentally or even on purpose with someone in the back seat. Now there's a lot of bonuses to this bed, as when they stow away, you have a full-size bed that you can use for any kind of hauling if you're not always hauling around with some people. As with some other makes out there, when you have 4-seater variances, you lose your entire bed and you only have a sliver in the back to actually storage with it. So nice thing with these is that actually you can run it in a 3-seater or 4-seater variant. So while you have one seat up, because maybe you only have 3 people, you can leave the other half down, giving you half your bed, not even including putting your tailgate down. So when you drop your tailgate down, you get a bit more room on the back, and of course you can always buy a bed extender there. So you get a lot of room, but if you want to use it as just a pure 4-seater, you can do that as well. But I will throw it in, since we're talking about it. If you are going to be hauling a lot of people around and you have a bit more land, you might want to consider the Pioneer 1005, which is going to give you a bit more power, a couple more features, and it does give you a little bit more room in the back seat as well. Or you can even step up from there and get the Pioneer 1006, but that's a long machine, and that puts you in a whole nother price point as well. Those machines are all over 20,000 versus something like this you can get it around out the door for right around 15,000 or so, which is a lot more affordable if you're just trying to get some work done around the property, or maybe even possibly get the family out for a ride. Now when it comes to taking these seats down and putting them away, open your door, show you our door handle here on the inside of the door, nice lever. First you gotta come in, flip your seat cushion up. So hard to see, I'll hook it first though. It just goes onto this tab here. And then around the back, you'll reach in and grab, but I'm coming around to show you. There's a compartment here, you push up, it releases, and you can push the seat down. It'll also kind of slowly fall on its own into place, basically all the way. And you need to leave the door open because the doors, when they're shut, lock in and overlap the lips of the doors. We got these sills here, which just kind of overlap them a bit. Now on the back of the machine, we got 2 latches here, which is how we open our tailgate. And we have a few different points to tie stuff down. You got 2 hooks here, you got 2 here, and you got 1 in the center in the back there. And then we're going to move back from that, which is going to show us our hitch right in the back. But what's nice with the hitch setup down here is you throw a whole receiver down in there, slide it in, the one off your truck or car, and you don't have to put just a ball on it. So it gives you a little bit more towing capacity, and as well puts your trailer a little bit further back from the machine as you maneuver it. But now let's get up front into the front seats. Now before we continue any further with this video, I want to briefly mention and thank JAF Motors, located in Glenville, New York, for lending me this brand new Pioneer here today to show you all around it and talk about it. So I'll have their info on screen and as well down below. So if you're interested in picking up any Honda or Yamaha side-by-side product, be sure to check them out down below. Give them a call. They got some nice inventory in at the moment and units coming in as well. So be sure to check them out. Let them know you saw the video as well. But let's get back into the video. Alrighty, so we're taking a look at our front hood here. Turn these 90 degrees. Pops up, slide it back. Top of our radiator, we have a coolant fill down here with an upper and a lower level on the left side of the fender, which is how you check that. And that's really all there is, as well as a fuse box right there. That's it under the hood of this. A few other things when it comes to servicing, you just pull the seat up, slide forward, kind of dump it down here. Under this cover will give you access to your dipstick and your oil fill, really easy. That side will give you access to your battery and all your main electronics. And then when we dump our bed, take you out of the tripod, show you how easy this is. Under that cover, pulls right off. It's just kind of pushed in. You pull it off, and under there's access to your air box for your air filter. Oil filter are on the passenger side access down there as well. So it's real easy when it comes to changing oil and servicing these machines, as it is for any other typical Honda product. Now on our passenger side, we'll open our door up and we'll see our fuel fill right there. It's that 8-gallon tank. But now let's hop into our passenger seat. So here, got a couple different floorboard options where you put your feet here, or one kind of elevated, which is nice. You got a good amount of room. Of course, the seats are kind of like a bench seat kind of setup, but definitely more comfortable than the back. They're fairly plush though. And coming in front of us is our glove box. This gives you plenty of deep storage space, and your owner's manual tucks in right on the left side. So well, there's even a little drain hole down in the corner, which is hard to see. But if you ever get any kind of dirt, debris, or water in there, you kind of wash it out and it'll dry up. And this is even sealed. It's got a gasket on it, so this is a watertight compartment. Now what's nice as well is down in the center of the dash here, you got a 12-volt cigarette outlet right there that you can use. You got a little storage compartment right here, little cubby. That's about it though. Let's hop into our driver's seat. Now hopping into our driver's seat, a couple updates and changes from previous Pioneer 700 models. If you will notice, we got a new display location here. It's connected to the steering wheel, as the steering wheel now tilts, which is nice. It's pretty stiff, so it takes a second to get moving. But what is nice about this is that when you do move it and tilt it, the display moves with it. So regardless of where you have the height, the dash is kind of set accordingly to where you set your steering wheel position. Now on top of that, towards our right side, which I showed earlier, that compartment is a newer thing. And as well, you got an area for switch panels. So if you're going to add any kind of lights, when you have the Deluxe model, you do have one of these switches in use, as this has LED bed lights on the Deluxe model on some of the bling. If you want to know more about the Deluxe model and variant, I will have a video pop up on a 2-seater that I did back in the spring, which is a Deluxe model. So that will show you what the difference between the 4-seater and the 2-seater, and as well the advantages of the Deluxe model. One advantage of the Deluxe model would be like those paddle shifters, aluminum wheels, fancier paint, bed lights, 12-volt cigarette outlet in the bed. Power steering is the big one, of course. So that's kind of a really quick rundown on this versus the Deluxe model. But if you want to learn more about the Deluxe, again, go check that video out. So turning our display on, it's a lot of glare for some reason, but just shows you your mileage, time, fuel level, RPMs, which is nice. The earlier Pioneers didn't show that. You have a parking brake light in the top left, which shows red, then it goes away once it's off. Neutral light, reverse light, seatbelt light. This will only do 12 miles an hour without the seatbelt clicked in. You have a temp light, check engine light, and a diff lock light, which will be yellow when this is in diff lock. And when you have it in 4-wheel drive, it will as well show up on the dash right there. And then when you put it in diff lock, I don't know if it'll, I think it has to fully engage since it's not running, but it will show all of that on the dash. Shows our time, 2 trips in the top. There you go, see it there. Up top, temp light. Then you have an hour meter, voltage, 99 miles or 20 hours. So it'll show 100 miles or 20 hours when they're brand new. And they count down from that, and whichever reaches first will indicate it is due for an oil change, which is when that wrench in the top left, I know we're struggling with the glare here today, but that wrench will pop up on the main display when I'm not under one of those screens like this, and that will indicate it's due for its first service, which will just be about an oil change, oil filter, kind of check everything over is really all that will include. Nothing too crazy, and then it jumps up to, I believe, 600 or 800 miles after that. On the left side, we have our on and off for our headlights. That's on, that's off, which just turns them on, and as well your brake, your running lights in the back. There are no high or low beam settings with these, or LED lights or anything fancy like that. Just turn it over to start it. So the nice thing with the Hondas that have the real transmission is the advantage of these over some belt drives is that when you're going 20 or 30 mile an hour, you can still have a conversation with the person next to you since it's a transmission. So as you go faster, it's still going to rev down like your car would and get those RPMs lower, which is going to make this quieter, smoother, and more fuel efficient as well. So those are some quick kind of small advantages of having a real transmission. As well, you're not going to have to worry about blowing belch or burning belch up, and allow you to really push that towing capacity to its limit. But that should be everything. So let's go take it for a spin. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all did enjoy, learned something from this, or found it entertaining. If you're looking to pick one of these up, be sure to check out my dealer, JAF Motors, located in Glenville, New York. As always, comment down below your thoughts, your opinions on the 700. If you're happy with the updates Honda has made, or you wish they would do more with the machine in terms of updates. I would not be opposed to Honda doing some nice upgrades, maybe doing a little bit nicer of a seat setup in there, a little better quality plastics of paint, and even LED headlights would be nice on some of the models, like the Deluxe, of course. But that's going to do it. Consider subscribing. I appreciate it, guys. That'll do it. You guys all have a great day. Bye.